Hey guys, back with a new video, review impressions on Alien Isolation. No physical copy, can't show you anything. I played it on PC. Um, and this was a game I was looking forward to. I had reservations about it considering Alien games have been shitty for a long time. I think the only one that actually was considered any decent was like Aliens vs Predator 2. I never played that one, but I think the main problem with Alien games is the fact that they're always made to be shooters, and they're always based on Aliens, the movie Aliens, or they're like their own thing, or like Aliens versus Predator. It's never based. These games are never based on the first movie, and I'm a much bigger fan of the first movie than Aliens. I like Aliens. It's a good action movie, but to me, the original Alien is by far the best. Very tense. There's no explosions and guns everywhere. It's a very tense, slow paced film, and I love it. It's an absolute masterpiece. So when this game was announced to be take influences from Alien, it was something to look forward to. Until they announced who was developing it, Creative Assembly. Which are known for like Total War games on the PC, and like Viking Battle for Asgard, which I remembered was not that great. So I don't know. Their track record is not terrible, but they never really had done a game like this. So I don't know. And then reviews started coming out. I pre-ordered the game before reviews even started coming out, and they've mostly been positive, but there have been a few negative reviews. And a lot of that negative reviews have been talking about like the trial and error gameplay, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't really like trial and error gameplay, and I don't actually like stealth games at all. Like I can't stand stealth games, partly because I'm terrible at them, but I just don't find them all that fun. So there was a good chance that I wasn't gonna like this. So I was surprised to find out that I actually really love this game. I think it's a great horror game. Certainly the best Alien game, and a nice surprise. I would agree with the higher end reviews. It still has some problems. I don't think this is a perfect game by any means, and I'll talk about some of those problems a bit. But yeah, I had a good time with it. I guess we'll start with the story here. I'm not going to say too much. You play as Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen Ripley from Alien. And I'm going to be very brief with the story here because it's weird. There almost isn't a story in this game. A lot of it is like reading terminals and finding like background info on the ship you're on, and and seeing how this game ties in with the movie. And that's the fun part of the story. Really, the main story itself is nothing special. I mean, you're Amanda Ripley. You're an engineer, and you get. You basically go on this ship, the Sevastopol, because it's known that a flight recorder for the Nostromo, which Ellen was on, was located on this ship. And you get there with this team, and you find out that shit's gone down. That's all I really want to say, because I think it's a lot of the surprises of this game come from reading all the terminals to find out like what happened aboard this ship, and seeing if you can find the flight recorder, and seeing all these cool ties to the Alien movie, which they're done really well. I love how this ties in with the original movie. It's there's not like a constant amount of references. It's smartly tied in with the Alien movie, where it's not too much. There's not too much of it, and it feels like its own thing as well. And I think the connections within this game and the original movie are done so much better than I was expecting. I was expecting them to almost like tarnish the, I don't want to say legacy, but tarnish the original movie in a way. Like, I'm not too big on like the mythology of the Alien series, really. Like, I mean, in terms of the Alien movies, that's the first one's really the only one I've absolutely loved. Like Alien 3 and Resurrection I absolutely hated. But yeah, I think the story overall, even though there's not really much of a story, it's still like I just really like all the connections with the movie, and finding out more about this ship. I think that's the ship itself, the Sevastopol, the story of the Sevastopol, I think is the more interesting thing in this game. I mean, the main story is basically like encountering the alien and then finding a way to get off the ship. Um, it's your basic stuff, but like I said, I love all the connections to the first Alien movie. Gameplay. It's a first-person survival stealth horror game. But the cool thing with this game is there's a few different enemies aboard the ship. Like it's mainly like you've got your exploration going around the ship. It's a linear game, mission by mission. But you have the alien that's aboard the ship. It cannot be killed, and it's throughout the game it's gonna chase you, and you got to hide from it. And that's where I think the game is at its best. When you're using your motion tracker and hiding in vents and hiding from this alien and using your tools to distract it and get away from it, it's extremely tense, and it's nerve-wracking. It's amazing. And the AI on the alien I fucking love because it's so unpredictable. You never know what exactly it's going to do and where it's going to pop up. It's fantastic. Other than the alien, you have android enemies and human enemies. And then some humans you'll meet are good guys, and some you'll meet aren't. So you'll have to make use of your weapons to kind of take them out or just sneak around them. The human enemies are kind of annoying in the sense that their aiming seems to be too accurate for my taste. And they tend to spot you even though it feels like they shouldn't. So they can be kind of annoying. The androids that you'll meet across on the ship, they're called Working Joes, and I love like the history, like reading about them on the terminals. But they're enemies as well. They're very creepy, but at the same time, I found them to be the most annoying enemy to deal with because anytime they get up close to you, they get you into this like quick time event that lasts a long time. You gotta like hammer the A button to get away from them and attack them with a melee attack. And you can't attack them with a melee weapon or they'll just counter your attack. And they're kind of annoying to get away from. They spot you really easily. And like, I don't know, I thought they were a bit on the annoying side. And there's almost too much of a focus on them. But at the same time, I think the game's really well paced between the humans, the androids, and the alien. Like, you're never encountering one thing for too long in a row, and it's divided between the three. I mean, the alien stuff is the most tense part of the game, but I'm glad that it's not all running away from the alien. Other than that, you're pressing levers, doing quick time events, reading terminals, finding passcodes. It's very basic stuff, but it's interesting because it's still tense because you can be doing this stuff and doing like these hacking mini games, and the alien can still be in your vicinity, and you got to be careful when to do this hacking mini game because the alien could just come up from behind you and kill you in one hit, which the alien does kill you one hit unless you use a flamethrower, which I guess I'll talk a bit about the weapons and crafting parts of this game. You can find materials all aboard the ship to craft different things like a noisemaker that you can throw on the ground and it makes this loud noise, pipe bombs, Molotov cocktails, and you get like a shotgun, a revolver, a bolt gun. Like those are good for like humans and androids. They don't do shit against the alien though. The flamethrower is the best thing for the alien, but I feel like they give you the flamethrower a bit too early, or it needs to be like nerfed in some way, because it kind of removes a lot of the tension at times. Because what happens is if you see the alien, it comes after you and it's running after you, and the alien's fucking fast as hell. If you shoot it with the flamethrower a couple times, it will just run away and go up into the vents. Or if you shoot it just as it hits you, you'll take like half your health and then it will run away, and then you can just use a med kit and heal back to full. So, I mean, that's kind of lame. Unless it comes up behind you, you can get the alien away from you if you just constantly use your flamethrower. And it's got a ton of ammo, and ammo is pretty easy to find for it on the default difficulty. Maybe I should have played hard mode. I mean, there's easy, normal, and hard mode. Hard mode, they actually recommend you play. I probably should have done that, because with the flamethrower, it removes a lot of the tension. And they give you it pretty early in the game. So, yeah, that's kind of something I wasn't too big on. Save points. There's no auto-saving in this game. You have to save at these save stations manually throughout the game, and you can die while you're using these save stations because they take like 3 seconds to use. It's a choice that at first I wasn't too big on because early in the game I like failed this one long 30-minute section because of like this stupid AI glitch. And I had to go back and do it all over again. It was kind of frustrating, and at first I was like, I wasn't sure how I liked the save system. It grew on me though. I gotta say, I can't imagine this game without the save system because it makes the game a lot more tense. And it's like you just want to get to this next save station after getting through these treacherous stealth sections. You're just like, oh, and when you see that save station, it's like this safe haven, and you're just like, yes, I found it. But when you see that save station and it says hostiles nearby, you're nervous because you're looking around for an alien or something, and you're like, shit, should I save? Should I save? It's fantastic. I actually really love the save system. Lengthwise, some of the reviews I was reading were complaining about the game being too long. I didn't find it that long at all. Like, it took me like I think 14 hours to beat, which maybe is longer than most action games and most stealth games, but I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought the game was paced really well. I don't know. I didn't think it was too long at all. I do think the last hour of the game is when the game is at its weakest. It turns into like a set piece driven action game at the end, and there's a lot of these trial and error sections that are really annoying to go through. I don't know. The game's actually last hour is kind of disappointing, as well as the ending. I'm actually not a big fan of the ending. Obviously, I won't spoil it, but I wasn't actually thrilled with the ending. I guess one thing I forgot to mention with the story. I mean, the characters are not very interesting. The people you meet aboard the ship. Amanda Ripley's a good character. Her dialogue's a bit weak. Well, her dialogue's not that bad. It's just the voice actress that plays her is I don't know. Some of the way she delivers some of her lines is a bit stilted, I want to say. But she's not. The characters aren't terrible. They're just not particularly memorable. I forgot to mention that. But it's as far as the gameplay goes, I mean, there's not much else to say. The motion tracker is great. I love the motion tracker. How it shows you your objective with like a little. It's kind of like an arrow that tells you where you should be going. I'm glad that was in the game. If it wasn't in the game, it would be very annoying navigating these environments because even with the motion tracker, sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what you're supposed to be doing. There's an excellent, very helpful map system in the game. Crafting stuff to use is fun. It's an enjoyable game, and I think the best part about it is that it's very tense. Is it scary though? I would say no. I don't think it's a scary game, but then again, I don't find any games to be scary. Because always know I'm playing a video game, so the like fear is not something I feel when playing a video game because I know it's a video game. But it definitely is tense, which that's what they were going for, and they succeeded. I think they succeeded. As a horror game, it succeeds brilliantly. So yeah, that's about all with the gameplay. Graphics, it's a very pretty looking game. It's really smooth. Granted, I was playing in 60 frames per second, but man, like the environments look amazing. They have like that 70s retro look to them. They don't look insanely futuristic. The ship looks like something like the Nostromo from Alien. They did an excellent job with the environment, and one of my favorite parts of the game is exploring this environment and just looking at all the details in this environment and reading the terminals. Like I said before, visually it's stunning. The cutscenes are kind of janky though. Like they're they stutter. And I thought this might have been a problem with my PC, but no, it's on all the console versions, and even people with super powerful PCs still see the cutscenes are still very rough. Like the facial stuff looks fantastic. Like the faces in this game look amazing, but in the cutscenes. But I don't know. The character models too are kind of a bit stiff. Like animations on the character models, especially the humans, isn't that great. It's mainly the environments that look fantastic. But I'm not a big graphics guy anyways, so. Even if the game wasn't an amazing looking game, I probably wouldn't bother me too much. Now, usually I don't talk about the audio too much in these discussions, but I think Alien Isolation deserves special mention here. The audio design in this game is fucking amazing. Like, it's remarkable. Like, the music. They take a lot of music from the Alien film, which I love. That's fantastic music. But a lot of the music they have in this game is very... It fits the game so well. It's very moody. It gets loud. And just very... It gets loud and crazy when the alien's nearby, but it's very subtle when the alien's not around. The way the sound effects work in this game, and just how audio levels are used, like volume is used, and just how dynamic the audio is in this game, it blew me away. If you're playing this game with a nice pair of headphones, the audio will simply blow you away. I think this game you have to play with headphones. It makes the game more tense, and it really makes the audio shine. Yeah, like the people who worked on the audio on this game need a raise. Like some of the best audio I've heard in the game, and the atmosphere too in this game is top notch. I love the atmosphere. So yeah, audio wise, like I mentioned, the voice acting's not all that great, which it's all right. It's not terrible, but the voice acting I think could be better. But in terms of like the sound effects and music, absolutely amazing. So yeah, that about covers it. I mean, there's not much to the game. There's not many systems to go over, but if you're looking for a horror game that's, not gonna just not built on jump scares, and and that's slower paced, and that doesn't have you just shooting a million things over and over again, I think you're gonna dig this. I mean, I'm not even a big horror game guy, and I'm not a big stealth game person, and I really enjoyed this game. Like, other than like the main story mode, there's also like a survival mode, which I've got gameplay footage for here, which is cool, where you kind of have to dodge the alien and do these objectives in these smaller maps. Yeah. So I mean, the replay value is not too high. I don't see myself ever replaying this, but it's definitely an enjoyable game. For full price, it depends. If you're a huge Alien fan, it's a no-brainer. If you're a huge horror fan, it's a no-brainer. If you're kind of lukewarm on horror games, I'd say maybe wait for a price drop. But yeah, it surprised me, this game. I definitely didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. But yeah, that's my review. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.